Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. I want to talk a little bit about the foot. These lovely little pieces that carry us around every day, these structures that carry us around, they work really hard, and I feel like we don't give them quite the love that they may need. Each foot has 26 bones and 33 joints, but sometimes it may feel like it has 2 joints, plop, 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 right, as we walk. I'd like to explore a little bit, a little mini self-care for the foot to wake it up. Oftentimes, as we age, the proprioception, which is the brain, basically, of our feet, telling us where we are in space, it tends to diminish. And how do we work the feet and remind them of all of their possibilities of movement so that they can be adaptable to different surfaces and different shoes that we wear? So part of what I'd like to explore today is just a couple little minutes of working with the feet and getting them some wonderful self-care so that we can go and do the things that we want to do in our life. So if you have a seat, you can have a seat on a bolster, on the floor, on a chair. However, it's best to be able to comfortably put your hands on your feet. And we might start with just awakening the feet through the bones, giving them a little pat. Of course, you could do this anywhere. Just saying hello. And sometimes that is too much stimulation for the foot, so you could instead take a little rub on the feet, just saying hello, a little squeeze. And then let's take the foot in our hands and we're going to do a little twisting action back and forth. So for those arches, and you can do this at whatever speed feels good for you. Some people like to twist and linger a little bit. Some people like to do it a little bit more vigorously up and down the arch. So notice what feels good to your foot. And then we want to continue by what's called scissoring the toes. So I'm going to take my big toe and my second toe and gently pull them away from each other. I might take a little exhale here too. And then scissor those toes the opposite direction. And then let's take the second and the third toes and do the same thing, scissoring and scissoring the other direction. So keep moving down through those toes. A lot of times the energy really gets stuck in between the toes. We want to help open up that awareness and that engagement in between the toes as well. And of course you could work your way back up the toes. This is all about finding what's comfortable for you. So if any of these exercises that we're doing don't feel comfortable, try to modify for yourself and listen to your own body to notice what feels good. Now, if you can, we're going to take our 5 fingers and place them, or 4 fingers, I guess, 1 thumb, place them in between your toes and walk your fingers up as high as you can towards the knuckle so that you're holding the whole ball of the foot. And let's give that foot a nice circle around. So again, we're opening that spaciousness in between the toes. And then release your fingers and take a little walking of your thumbs up and down each what's called metatarsal bone, those long bones in your feet. Back and forth. This feels really good. And then I'm just going to take my heel and take a little twist as if it were a doorknob and find the twist that's a little more comfortable. Which direction is a little bit more comfortable? Hold it there and then take a little compression of that heel up towards the lower leg. Now, after a few seconds, you may feel a spontaneous release or a feeling of your body saying, I'm done with that. Maybe 10, maybe 15 seconds, and then release that heel. Give it another little slap. And now we got to test it out. Did you do anything? So come up to standing and notice those feet on the floor again. Notice what you notice. Notice if you can sense more of the floor under the foot that you just worked on versus the opposite side. And maybe even take a little walk around your space to feel how your foot moves. I can definitely feel more on the foot I just worked. And I also feel it's more stable. You could even check out the balance here. We should have done that at the beginning, but check it out. The balance of the foot that you worked on versus the opposite side. I'm definitely struggling on the side that I didn't work. So let's even them out. So here we go on the other side. See if we can remember everything that we did. First, a little awakening. Just saying hello. Maybe you give the foot a few squeezes. And then we'll do the twisting back and forth. Wringing out the feet. And you can decide if you focus more on the skin and moving the skin over the bones, or if you feel like you want to get more into the muscles and giving it a little bit more compression. And then we'll take the fingers of the opposite foot. Actually, let's scissor first. We did that first. So scissoring the big toe and the second toe back and forth. The second and third toes. Making your way down third and fourth, and then fourth and fifth, and back up again. Again, you could take your time with this. This could be a great thing to do while you're watching your favorite TV show or movie, taking a little break from your computer. And then we'll take the opposite hand and bring those fingers in between each toe. Now, if this feels difficult for you, then just do 1 or 2 toes until you work up to getting a little more space in between the toes. I'm taking a little ankle circle here. And then removing my fingers and walking my thumbs up and down each line as if your foot had 5 lines for each toe. And if the thumbs are not able to do this move, you could do it with your fingertips, or you could use something like a little tiny ball to roll on, or something you might have around the house to give you a little extra pressure on those feet. Taking another little slap. Good, and then coming back up to standing. Maybe a little shake through the legs. I definitely feel 4 inches taller, which is a good thing for me. Check out your balance again on the other side. See if that's changed at all. Definitely has for me. And then take another little walk around. That's a great thing to do if you are headed out for a walk also, and noticing how then your feet move as you begin to walk in your space or outdoors. Taking care of our feet, so important. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.